Okay, so we're going to start with some M&M algebra practice. This is basic equations with one variable. So for number one, what is my variable there? For number one, what is it? Yes, love.
S.
It's S. Now, S is supposed to stand for what? Why did they put a letter there? If we're in math, why is there a letter there? Sir?
The missing number.
It's a missing number. So I can put any letter I need to in algebra to represent a missing number. So what else, or what are you used to seeing instead of a letter? What are you used to seeing? I know Miss Ayala does it a lot. I don't know if your teachers do, but what do you see instead of an S? What do you normally see?
A box or a blank space.
It's either a box or a blank space. You've been doing algebra since second grade and not really knowing it. It's just a box, empty space. You had a question? Or you're just going to answer?
I was going to say, sometimes you put question marks.
Yeah, they can use question marks, or it's a blank space, or a box is normally what they're looking for. So let's solve this one. This one's pretty simple. It's easy, but I need you to talk me through it. So if I'm looking at this, and I've never seen any kind of algebra before, and I'm panicking because there's a letter in there, how would you teach that to someone? What would you say to that person? Yes?
You can use a box instead of...
Okay, I like that. Okay, let's use a box instead. So if let me move this a little smaller. If I say, well, let me use the box, let me change this. So instead of the S, I do this. Everyone agree? Would that work?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll work. And if seeing it this way, does that help you?
Yes.
Is that easier for some kids?
Yes.
Okay. Now how do I solve it? Now what do I do here? Carrie, what do I do?
You, instead of the plus sign, you make a minus sign?
Well, see, here, it's not really asking me, baby, to move anything over. Here, I just have to figure out what goes there. So it's a little different than what I showed you last week. Here, it's just plug it in. You don't have two variables. What you're thinking about is if I had X on this side and Y on that side, then you have to move them. This is a pretty straightforward one. So, no, you wouldn't do that. What would I have to do here? Tell me, love.
You would do 18 minus 3.
Aha! Because I need to figure out what goes here. Okay? So I can either count up from 3 and keep going till I hit 18, or I can just go backwards. Because what is the inverse operation for addition? Subtraction. So if I go this way to add, I can go that way to subtract. So I can write out, you right. I can write out 18 minus 3. So everybody, what is it? 15. So S equals 15. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what if I gave you this? Same concept?
Yes.
You can imagine what in place of that A?
A box.
A box if you need to. But by this point, by 6th grade, 7th grade, you go into algebra, you're going to see letters. The letters are going to be there. Do not let them scare you. All they are is just a box. It's representing the number. Okay? So how would I solve this? If I go this way and it's addition, what am I going to do to solve this?
17 minus 9.
That's it.
Or
Go.
7.
Oh,
7.
What? Even I'm not reading it right. Say it again.
19 minus 7.
There we go. Everyone, what is 19 minus 7?
12.
Okay, easy. All right. All right, well, what if it gave me... Will you have any that look like that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the algebra you're used to seeing all the time. That is the algebra you see all the time because that letter represents what? A box or that line. Okay? So explain to me, hon, how do we do this one?
Now this one, you have to do the same, the inverse operation. So.
Well, look at it.
Oh, so you just solve it.
You just solve it. That's when I tell you that you've been doing algebra for a long time. This is the most simple form that you've ever seen. It's just, solve it. It's just straight what? Subtraction. Straight subtraction. So what is 24 minus 6?
18.
So B equals 18. Okay, too simple. Okay, all right. Well, what if you have... Now, I'm using small numbers, so it's easier for us to compute them, but could you have 3-digit numbers in there?
Yes.
Absolutely. You can have any number of digits in there. You just have to understand what they're looking for, what's happening in this problem. So explain to me what's going on in this problem. Brooklyn, what do you have to do to solve for K?
You have to 7. Add 12 to 7.
Yes. So if you go this way, K minus 12 is 7. Inverse operation is addition. So 7 plus 12. So what is my K? 19. Too simple. Okay, now I'm going to go to a little harder.
Could you do this with decimals?
Yes, you can.
Really?
You can make any kind of algebra problem you would like, as long as you have your answer. Then it's your decision which one you want to create as a variable. So if you have A plus B equals C, well, take out the B and have them figure it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Watch. Easy, easy. What is 3 plus 2?
5.
Okay, so that was the A, because I didn't give you that answer. That was your unknown. If I start off with R plus 1 equals 6, what's R?
5.
Okay, that's your algebra. And yes, you can do it with decimals also. And there's some practice problems with decimals. Now look at number 5. What does it say?
The sum of the number to 60.
Okay, so the sum of the number. What is a sum? If you do not know your math vocabulary, you are guaranteed to fail star. Because they are not going to come and tell you, oh, this is what this means. You need to know your vocabulary. What does sum mean, Alexis?
Answer to a addition problem.
So sum is the answer to addition problem. So right on top of sum, put a little plus sign. Like, oh, okay, they're asking me, I got to add something here. Okay? So the sum of a number and 42 is 60. What are you supposed to think of when you see that word is? What sign should you think of when you see the word is? Yes.
Equal sign.
Good girl. Is means equal. When Miss Ayala just asked you 3 and 2 is what?
5.
Didn't I just use that word?
Yes.
3 and is what sign?
Addition.
The plus sign, the addition sign. 3 and 2 is your equal sign. 5. Okay, excellent. So how would you set this up? How do you set that up? Everyone do it in your journal. So the sum of a number and 42 is 60. Now, can I use any letter I want?
Yes.
I could, but looking at my answer choices, I know that they all had an X. They used X. And normally that's the letter that you're going to see. So I'm going to use X. So if it says the sum, I know that I have to have an addition sign. The sum of a number. So a number, what do I put there? X. It's my variable. So the sum of a number and what number?
42.
And 42 is?
60.
So how do I solve for that? Everyone.
60 minus 42.
All right, do it. Now, Bella, can you explain to me why we're subtracting to find this answer?
Because you would do the inverse operation.
Absolutely. You will do the inverse operation. Now, look at this. Do you have your total here? Do you have the total on this problem? You do. 60. Would you add these two together?
No.
No. 60 is your total. That's as much as you'll ever have. And I try to explain that to some of my students, and they don't see that. I'm like, why would you have a bigger number here if your total, your sum, should always be the greatest amount? You guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is X? Everyone, X is? 18. There we go. So, looking back up here, what's the only one that matched that? Hold on. This says X plus 60. You need to read carefully. Answer is C. Okay. Good job, guys.